Attention gamers. Today we will be providing our perspective as someone who has sunk 10 years and hundreds if not thousands of dollars into League of Legends on this recent article in The Gamer entitled "Don't Play League of Legends Just Because You Like Arcane." Basically, Eric Swizzy over here, the man behind the script, is making the argument that Arcane is so good that it has sparked a lot of interest in the video game representations of Runeterra. Which is spot on, as so far every human with literal eyeballs or ear holes that I've talked to about this show has openly revealed the binge boner that it gave them, and I have to agree. The show that I went into expecting to suck more than a young Riley Reid on a casting couch turned into a pleasant surprise where everything about this show was just a strong dopamine enema straight up the mud tunnel. The art, the storylines, the way they somehow grabbed me right by my emotional balls and made me understand every character's perspective and somehow leave me on my knees rooting for everyone to succeed. It was manipulative. And I loved every minute of it. So I'd have to agree with this writer that the show is going to be a great marketing piece for the game, and even though he wrote it after only the first act, I think everything still applies, as the show didn't pull a Squid Game start out crazy intriguing and then turn into an absolute piece of unfinished bag garbage. The writers got the munchies and pizza was coming in 20 minutes, let's just shit something out for the last 3 episodes so we can eat type of nonsense. Anyways, this media man takes the stance that you should not click that quote-unquote shiny play now button to install the game if you lack either time or patience. That's because if you do, the first thing you'll be met with is a client that takes 6 eternities to actually properly launch the game. You may discover a bunch of cool new League YouTubers while searching how to actually open this buggy client, and that will likely be the best part of deciding to try League, as they will provide endless content sadly ripping jokes about the awful realities you are about to discover in League, while also hosting giveaways like the one you can enter for free globally by using the link in the description, where 5 dank PCs are going to be given and all entries are completely free and it only takes a few minutes, so perfect way to spend your time waiting for League to launch. Then you'll sit through 16 tutorials and a training match against robots before joining your first game with real humans, and immediately wonder if you have descended into the depths of hell competing against the most tainted and toxic population of players you have ever met. Oh, and unless you are some Elon Musk miracle boy prodigy born with 6 thumbs and 0 dicks because you were built to be a gaming virgin, you are going to get absolutely pissed on by everyone else. This is because League of Legends is not new player friendly, as it's incredibly punishing on early game mistakes, as players are rewarded for doing well early, and thus a snowball effect oftentimes makes it impossible for you to compete with someone who is able to bend you over early, even if it was only the tip. So you will likely find yourself dead as a doorknob's dickhole for the majority of these 25-minute sessions you are stuck with, because the only way out is to win, lose, or unanimously forfeit, and there's always going to be optimistic Andy on your team thinking that there's still a 1% chance of pulling out the W, despite the fact that he himself is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. So when he says that Arcane is good at welcoming newcomers but League is not, filled with the sweatiest, angriest players, I have to give him a nod of approval and a quick cuff of the nuts for that one, because it's spot on. I also agree that the story behind the characters is almost non-existent in the game itself, unless you are a super lore fanboy, the type of guy who plays MMOs like World of Warcraft and actually reads all the details of the bullshit folklore story behind every quest instead of skipping it so that you can actually finish the game in this eternity. You likely don't know jack shit about the characters you play in the game outside of where they are from, a few voice lines cause they're funny.
Yup. That tasted purple.
And maybe the few sentences they list in the client. Like he said, if you are someone who gets off on actually reading the terms and conditions of things you sign and actually knowing all about the childhood of your favorite character, then the League of Legends universe page will arouse you more than playing this piss pit of a game. The best warning I can give before getting into League of Legends is that this genre of game is heavily reliant on other human beings that you are tethered to as teammates performing well and being willing to work with you. You've probably been in a group project before where you get stuck with that one failed abortion in the class being in your group, and he doesn't do jack shit, never writes a word or shows up to a meeting, and you are sending texts to your mom pissed as all hell that you have to put this D-Gen's name on the project hoping that you can report him to the professor and get him to fail. Well, League is 10 times worse, because not only can one person not pull their weight, they can deliberately make it impossible for you to perform well either. It would be like trying to write that group paper but the overgrown sperm cell that you're carrying is unplugging your keyboard every 5 seconds, then looking at you saying something unintelligently presumptuous and continuing to do it. Yeah, he may fail the project as well for doing this, but he could give 2 shits, because for some unknown reason that hopefully one day will be studied in human psychology, he is deriving more pleasure from making you, his teammate, a person who he has never met and will likely never run into again, fail. then making himself succeed, and that is the best analogy I can give of what playing League of Legends and caring about the results feels like. You will find yourself hating someone that you don't even know more than that crackpot gas station stripper who your dad ran off with when you were 6, all because of how easily it can be for a single person to waste your time in this game. Just listen to LS here.
See, this is like, this is points where it's like I can't express how much I resent this person as a human being, or how low, like, people like this. Not even just people like, I mean, just people in general that, you know, intentionally just try to cause anguish to others for no reason whatsoever. It's like no words that actually capture the essence of it.
All because this flailing bed curtain looking harp playing hoe bag that is on his team is such a disgrace to humanity that the person playing this character's birth certificate is literally an apology letter from the condom factory. And just to iron out my point, please see exhibit 69 below, entitled the comments section of this video, full of League players who are either nodding their heads posting similar situations that had them molding and wondering why they play this game, or the people who know this is fact but still would rather play devil's advocate make some highly thought out counterpoint just to pick an argument online because they themselves have been tainted by the toxic diarrhea taste in your mouth mentality that playing this game seriously for too long breeds.
I mean, obviously I'm super tilted.
I fully agree with the article here that says if you just want to be immersed in this universe, which admittedly Riot has made absolutely spectacular and deep, then there are so many other ways to do so. Legends of Runeterra, TFT. I can't speak for Mobile Wild Rift because I have enough League in my life, but I'd assume any version of League where you can't type and thus no one is telling you to kill yourself would be a better path for experiencing Runeterra. Maybe even play through the new Ruined King game. Riot has given you so many options in the last few months to explore this universe, so to quote yet another veteran and longtime player of the game, the worst looking thing out right now about League of Legends is League of Legends. Now, as someone who would personally benefit from the growth of the League player base as a result of Arcane, as well as someone who would love to see a giant fresh group of new people enter a game that hasn't been super welcoming to new players, if you still are considering League for the first time after all the warning signs, my best advice would be to find a group of friends.
Great advice on no get friends, you fucking loser.
But seriously, find people who also will be new at the game, and to play together with the mentality that this is a game and not a competition, and just maybe you will find what you are looking for. But by all means stay the hell away from ranked if you value your sanity, otherwise you probably will have a similar experience to other gamers who try to start playing League.
Dude, I'm just gonna quit. How do I quit out of this game?
Rav out.
You're looking silly cause you're in your feelings, but really old Rabby's up next. I see you hunting for scraps and you're looking at me like I'm finna be next. I tell you my trigger's a feather, so walk up, I'll gently put one in your chest. Don't fuck with Rabby boy, I'm in your crib with the blappy boy, talk to me slick and I'm popping your pappy. If happy talk back then I'm taking your Grammy, and boy oh boy I'll make her happy.